Bandwidth is defined as the higher frequency, higher cutoff frequency minus lower cutoff frequency. If we go for the higher frequency, then bandwidth automatically increase. Since capacity of channels is directly related to bandwidth, so we can say that the bandwidth of capacity of channel is increased by increasing the frequency, or we can accommodate more number of user in a given channel. And what are the applications of electromagnetic wave? We find numerous applications of or varieties of applications of electromagnetic wave. First one in transmission line, in high frequency circuits, in antennas, then fiber optics communications, in mobile communications, and in radio astronomy, etc. Now, antenna, I'm going to discuss about the antenna. Antenna is a device which is used for radiating or receiving electromagnetic wave. Antenna is a device which is used for radiating or receiving electromagnetic wave. Any wireless communication cannot happen without antenna. If you are thinking about of wireless communication, then antenna play a vital role in wireless communications. Or without antenna, we cannot imagine the wireless communication. Antenna have many applications like in mobile communication, in wireless local area network, in televisions, in satellite communication, in rocket and missiles. These are the examples of antenna where we can use antenna. Then antenna, if we classify the properties of antenna, the first one is radiation fundamentals, then antenna patterns and its parameters and types of antenna, then last one, the antenna's array. In radiation fundamental, we will discuss when a charge radiates and the solution of wave equation for potential function, and the solution of wave equations. And there are various types of antenna, dipole antenna, loop antenna, microstrip antenna. There are various types of antenna. Then why we go for the array antenna? The question here is, when does a charge radiates? A accelerating or deaccelerating charge will radiate electromagnetic wave. If the charge is in rest, then charge not radiates until or unless charge is accelerating or decelerating. In case 1, a stationary charge will not radiate, no flow of charge, that means no current or no magnetic fields, hence no radiations. In second case, when charge is moving with constant velocity, will not radiate. If a charge is moving with constant speed or constant velocity, then it will not radiate electromagnetic wave. In third case, a time varying current or acceleration or deacceleration of charge will radiate with the help of basic radiation equations. L di by dt is equal to Q dV by dt. So we understand that if charge is accelerating or deaccelerating, then we have radiation. To create radiation, there must be a time varying current or acceleration or deacceleration of charge. Static charge, we already learned that static charge, for static charge there is no radiations. If the charge motion is time varying or accelerating or deaccelerating, then there will be radiations even if wire is straight. Or charge moving with uniform velocity, no radiations if the wire is straight or infinite in extent, and we get radiations if the wire is curved or bent, or there is a discontinuity in the wire, or we can say terminated wire or truncated wire. In this scenario, If a charge is moving with uniform velocity or uniform speed, then we can say that in these situations we get the radiations. For radiations, electric field will have a transversal component instead of radial, whereas a charge accelerations or deaccelerations. Then I will talk about the antenna patterns and parameters. What is the radiation pattern of an antenna? Is a 3D geographical representation of radiation properties of antenna as a function of positions. Usually, we consider a spherical coordinate system. If we imagine an antenna is placed at the origin of a spherical coordinate system, its radiation pattern is given by a measurement of magnitude of electric field over the surface of radius r. If we consider a dipole antenna, then the radiation pattern of dipole antenna will be omnidirectional radiation patterns. If we consider lambda by length of dipole antenna is lambda by 2 and the mid between this dipole, then the Hertzian dipole is a elementary source consisting of time harmonic electric hello.
You are audible now.
Okay. So we have considered a infinitesimally small.
Next, you have to share screen again.
Okay. Now my screen is visible. Dr. Atul, my screen is visible to you?
Yes, the screen is visible now.
Hello. Dr. Atul.
Screen is visible. Yeah, screen is visible now. It's visible. You can start.
Okay. Okay. We have considered a small dipole element which is placed along the z-axis, and the length of dipole is very small, that is dl, and the current flowing through the dipole is I0. If we experience or calculate the field which we obtain at a spherical distance r, then the HR, H phi, HR, S theta and H phi, we obtain the magnetic field N, and the solution of electric field is ER, E theta and E phi. From these expressions, it is interesting to note that a Z-directed current element, kept at origin has only H phi, ER and E theta component. It is interesting to note that a Z-directed current element kept at origin has only H phi, ER and E theta component that decay as 1 by R cube away from the current element. 1 by R 1 by r square, and there is 1 by r cube term as we are moving away from the element. To understand the nature of the field behavior as a function of r, E field expressed as ER component of electric field, theta component of electric field is written as this one. We have plotted the variation of amplitude over kr, a plot of 1 by kr, 1 by kr square and 1 by kr cube as a function of kr is shown in figure. For a large distance, for a large value of r, that is greater than the operating wavelength. R means the function is greater than the operating wavelength, or kr is much greater than 1. The term containing 1 by r square, 1 by kr square and 1 by kr cube decay much faster as compared to 1 by kr k square r square and 1 by k cube r cube term decay much faster as compared to 1 by kr term. Therefore, we can conclude from this figure at a large distance from dipole, only the term containing 1 by r retained in the electric and magnetic field expressions, and the expressions of magnetic and electric field is given as the electric and magnetic field of jet directed dipoles for are much greater than the operating wavelength are given by H phi component of magnetic field. The ratio of E theta and H phi is equal to the impedance of the medium. If we look at the radiation pattern of the dipole, if we cut the radiation pattern of dipole, which is shown in this figure, if we cut this pattern vertically, then the radiation pattern will look like a dumbbell shape. If we cut this radiation pattern horizontally, then we get the magnetic field patterns, and that pattern is here, the normalized element pattern. This represents the perfect dumbbell shape, and this represents a circular shape. Now, since the dipole antenna, since in case of dipole antenna, we get the omnidirectional radiation pattern, but in some cases we require a directional antenna. For that case, we can use a horn antenna. Horn antenna will radiate the power in a specific direction, so we get the directional radiation pattern. Now I will discuss the array antenna. As we already know that the antenna are of any wireless communication system, which allow for the transfer of signals in a wire system to a wave, which in turn propagate through the space. Use of single element antenna are relatively wide. That is, they have relatively low directivity and gain. Researchers of antenna community are interested to synthesize an antenna which have high directive characteristics, minimum side lobe levels, and minimum interface long distance communications. However, single antenna cannot meet these demands, so array antennas are used to achieve in one way a set of individual elements in a given geometrical configurations, that is linear, planar or circular. Creating an array is used to improve the capabilities of antennas. The overall radiation pattern of array is obtained with the help of pattern multiplication theorem. Pattern multiplication theorem says that the overall radiation pattern of antenna is equal to element pattern in array factor. By ruling the element pattern as well as array factor, we can control the overall radiation pattern of antenna, which depends upon the following parameters: geometry of array, either we can use linear array or planar array or circular array. The number of elements, second one is the number of elements. Anyone can use 2 elements, suppose another one can use 100 elements, 50 elements. It depends upon the number of elements used. The next one is positions. This is very important parameters. When we are trying to formulate an array of antenna or design an array antenna, we have to find the optimum locations. Where should we place the antenna so that we get the desired characteristics? Positions is where we can place the antenna elements, and excitations of the array elements. Excitation is input power. How much input power is given to the different array elements? And the next one is complex fate. Both in this case we consider the phase and the excitation amplitude both simultaneously, and another parameter is phase or orientations of the antenna elements, in which direction the antenna element is oriented. That means phase of the antennas, and the relative patterns of individual elements. Someone can use a dipole antenna, another one can use a microstrip antenna or bow tie antenna. It depends upon the antenna shape or antenna characteristics. If we place the antenna in a linear manner, then this figure A is a linear array arrangement. If we place the antenna in a planar form, then this is a planar array antenna. And if antenna arranged, these are the parameters. These are the parameters of antennas: radiation patterns, directivity, side lobe levels, beam widths, off power beam width, first null beam width, and the array factors. The radiation pattern or antenna pattern is defined as the spatial distribution of quantity that characterize the electromagnetic field generated by the antennas. The radiation pattern is defined as the spatial distribution of quantities that characterize the electromagnetic field generated by an antenna. The quantity referred in this definition can be amplitude, field amplitude, power, radiation intensity, antenna polarizations, and relative phase. Next is directivity. The directivity of antenna in a given direction is defined as the ratio of radiation intensity in that direction to the average intensity. Next one is side lobe levels. Next one is side lobe levels. From this figure, we can see the side lobe levels. Since we are trying to transmit the energy in a given direction, but we get energy in some another directions. This represents the direction of main beam, and the energy that is not directed along the main beam is the energy available in the side beams. We are trying to suppress the side beam so that maximum energy will propagate along the main beam. And we are talking about the first null beamwidth in between two consecutive maxima. Consecutive maxima, if we have a null, then the difference between the first null, first two nulls is the first where the amplitude is 1 by root 2 times of maximum amplitude, or we can say that the power is half along this line. These are the major lobes. We are trying to transmit energy in major lobes, and these are the minor lobes. Minor lobes, energy in the minor lobes, that means that energy. Now the array factors. In this case, I consider a symmetrical linear array antenna, which is symmetrical about y-axis as shown in figure. For this antenna, the array factor for this linear array antenna, the array factor is given as where an is amplitude of linear array antenna, dn is the positions of the antenna's element, and phi n is phase of individual element. As we already seen that by controlling the excitation amplitude, positions and phase of linear array antenna, we can obtain the desired radiation patterns by controlling the array factors, and array factor depends upon these four parameters. Similarly, if you consider linear array antenna, then the array factor of linear array antenna is given by these equations, and in case of circular array antenna, the array factor is given by these equations. Now, the array synthesis. Array synthesis various nulling method. Nulling method means we are trying to forcefully therefore
Sir, voice breaked.
Sir, voice is breaking.
Maybe some there is connection problem from his side. He will join again.
Today, lots of problems are there at everybody's end, isn't it, Dr. Atul?
Yes, ma'am. There are some problems of connectivity. Now he has joined. So,
hello, Atul, Dr. Atul, I have to say once again.
yes, you have. Our screen is coming. Yes, now we can see.
Okay. the in some cases, if the direction of interfering signals, in the previous example or in this examples, we have we already know the direction of interfering signals. But suppose if this signal is interfering signal or a unwanted speaker is not fixed at a particular positions, unwanted speaker is moving with respect to time, then what we can do to minimize the interference effect due to this unwanted speaker. In that case, if the direction of arrival of interference signals is not exactly known, or its locality is not fixed, or maybe slowly changing with respect to time, then we can place a single null, multiple null, means double null or triple null, and the broad nulls to minimize the interference effect. The radiation pattern of antenna can be controlled by changing the characteristics of system, and the application of numerical optimization technique to antenna design become possible. Previously, classical derivative based approach has been utilized for solving complex multi-dimension and multi-model problem which relate to antennas, because there is possibilities that the solution will trap in local optima and are unable to determine the global solutions. Classical derivative approach fail in this case. To overcome this problem, nature-inspired or bio-inspired optimization techniques are used. Since 1970s, various evolutionary algorithms have emerged, such as particle swarm optimization, wind-driven optimizations, bees, plant growth search algorithm modified to ant colony optimizations, invasive optimizations, backtracking search algorithms, cuckoo optimization algorithm, firefly algorithms, biography-based optimizations, and many others optimization techniques has been utilized. So
Sir, why
solve.
not clear? Some echo problem.
Okay.
Not is
Various
proper. Means
various
from
optimization
I can hear it properly. Yes.
various optimization technique has been already used to solve a scientific problem or engineering problem. The array antenna synthesis, if you uh, go and learn all the optimization technique, then the basic principle of all the optimization technique is same. You have to initialize the parameters, then you have to find the optimum positions, then select the optimum value, and then go for the next generations until you get the optimal solutions. This is the flow chart of GA, DE, ACO, and different optimization technique. They all are following a similar pattern. If you're talking about the array synthesis problem or an array design problems, in array synthesis, various optimization technique is already implemented in adaptive array, in phase array antennas. These are the optimization techniques, different optimization technique which already reported in array synthesis problems. Now, the main motive of the proposed work is to develop a new linear and non-linear geometry having minimum side lobe levels, minimum beam width, and null at desired directions to meet the requirement of present communication system, and at the same time we are trying to minimize the interference effect. In designing the array antenna, its parameters are assumed to be known a priori, but in many situations it does not meet the present requirements, such as high gain, large coverage area, minimum beam width, minimum interference. Under this situation, it is necessary to estimate, or we are utilizing soft computing optimization technique to estimate or optimize the parameter of array antenna. Invasive wind optimization technique is a bio-inspired evolutionary algorithm which is getting much more attention because it offers good diversity and exploration properties, whereas WDO stands for wind driven optimization technique. This optimization technique is inspired by the movement of air particles, and the authors in 2010 proposed this optimization technique, and they have formulated two equations. One is velocity equations and second one is position equation. And in this case we have a mathematical derivations of these equations, velocity equations and the position equation. With the help of Newton's law of motions, they have derived the velocity and position equations. WDO algorithm is nature inspired with fairly deliberate and to the point movement of air parcels in the Earth atmosphere, similar to the particle based algorithms such as PSO, CLPSO, BFO. These are. WDO algorithm has one velocity operator similar to PSO, which continuously update the current positions of air parcels to achieve the optimum solutions and provide an extra degree of freedom. During the development of this work, it was found that in conventional IWO, the seeds are uniformly dispersed over search domain. However, this type of distribution is not effective if the solution space is very large. Also, IWO is very sensitive to initialization, and there is possibility that the solution being trapped in a local optima to solve a given problem. But we are looking for global solutions. To enhance parameters should be carefully selected accordingly, or modified version of IWO has been proposed to solve complex optimization problem. And my objective is, during the development of this research work, it was found that conventional IWO, the uniformly dispersed seeds are uniformly dispersed over the search domains. However, this type of distribution is not effective if the solution space is very large. Also, IWO is very sensitive to initialization. There is possibility of solution being tapped in a local optima. To overcome this problem, hybridizations of IWO, invasive wind optimization, with wind-driven optimization algorithm is proposed. In hybrid algorithm, WDO technique is utilized to effectively initialize the position of seeds. Now, the positions of seeds will initialized by wind-driven optimization technique, and subsequent processing will be done by IWO method. The proposed hybrid IWO WDO algorithm is verified with the standard benchmark functions. I implemented in 10 benchmark functions, and the novel hybrid algorithm is used in linear and circular array geometry synthesis by controlling the array element parameters such as amplitude, position, complex weight, excitation amplitude, and positions. By controlling these parameters, I am trying to design a linear array. Now the problem formulations. Problem formulation, we have considered two elements, symmetrical linear array antenna. In the fitness function, what we are trying to do, the first fitness function to minimize the side lobe levels by imposing constraint on the beam widths. Means we are trying to minimize the side lobe levels, at the same time beam width is constant. The first term of this expression will represent the side lobe level minimizations, and the second term will be fix the beam width of the array, where m is where the constant have their usual meaning. And the second fitness functions I consider to minimize the interference effect. In order to minimize the interference effect, the nulls are placed in a specific direction or a specific location. And the fitness function for that purpose is given by fitness 2. The first term of this expression is the null positions, and the second term the null depth levels. We are trying to control the positions of null as well as the depth of null. By combining these two equations, we have formulated the fitness functions, and now in similar manner we have formulated the problem for circular array antenna. Circular array antenna, and this is the fitness function for circular array antenna. And I utilize wind driven optimization technique, invasive optimization technique, and the hybrid IWO WDO techniques to solve the above problems. WDO techniques I already discussed about the wind driven optimization technique. The inspirations comes from the Earth atmosphere, where wind blow in attempt to equalize horizontal imbalance in air pressures. There is no movement of air particles if the air pressure is same everywhere. The WDO is population based iterative heuristic local optimization technique. These are the derivations of the velocity equations. With the help of Newton's second law of motions, derived the new velocity equations. After determining the velocity of the air parcels, they have calculated the positions of air parcel with these equations, where x nu is equal to x current plus u nu into delta t. For convenience, they have considered delta t is equal to 1. After getting the velocity, in each and every step we have to update the positions of the air particles. These are the keywords of the WDO algorithm. First one is air parcel, population, generation, position, velocity, pressure, and ranking. Air parcel, an individual member whose coordinate value represent a candidate solutions to the optimization problem. In my case, in our case, the positions of air parcel will represent the positions of the antenna elements. If we are trying to optimize the positions, if we are trying to optimize the excitation amplitude of antenna, then the air parcel will represent the value of air parcels will represent the excitation amplitudes of the array. Then the populations, a group of predetermined number of diverse air parcels. Generations, one iterations where WDO operators are applied, positions the coordinate of an air parcels which corresponds to solution to the optimization problem. Then the velocity, the amount of position displacement per iterations, and the pressure, the fitness function. Here the pressure is the fitness function. We have to evaluate the fitness function or pressure after every iterations, and based on their pressure value or fitness value, we rank the air parcels. This is the flow chart of wind driven optimization technique. We have to start define the fitness function or pressure function, boundary conditions, and population size. Then initialize the initial position, velocity of air parcel, evaluate the pressures for each parcels, update the velocity and check the velocity limit. After getting the updated velocity, we have to update the positions and check its limit. If the maximum number of iterations are reached, then we get the optimum solutions. If the maximum number of iterations is not reached, then again we have to update we have to evaluate the pressure values and update the positions and put velocity and positions, and this loop will continue until and unless we get the optimum solution. This is the pseudo code for Bindeman optimization technique. Now I will discuss inversive weight optimization technique. Inversive weight optimization technique was proposed by Lucas in 2016. There, in inversive weight optimization technique, they utilize a basic concept for the development of this optimization technique. It is ecologically inspired optimization algorithm that mimic the process of wheat colonizations, distributions, and finding the suitable place for growth and reproduction. WDO methods, the weeds are uniformly distributed over the solution space. It has distinctive properties, the way of reproduction, spatial dispersions, and competitive exclusions. Make WDO popular for solving complex problems such as array synthesis problems. WDO already implemented in solving various optimization problems. These are the keywords which is used in IWO agents or seed. Each individual in the colony containing a value of optimization variables, fitness, a value representing the goodness of the solution of each seeds, plants, one agent or seeds after evaluating its fitness, colony, the entire agent or seeds, population size, the number of plants in the colony, maximum number of plants, the maximum number of plants allowed to produce new seeds in the colony. This is the flow chart of IWO technique. Now I will discuss a hybrid IWO WDO technique. I already discussed the IWO suffers from initializations and uniform distribution problem. To overcome these problems, WDO technique is utilized for initializations to overcome the initialization problem. First, these are the steps which I have used. A finite number of seeds are randomly distributed over the solution space or a space domain. Fitness value of each seed is certain according to the fitness function, and they are allowed to grow into flowering plant. In step 3, a group of plant is ranked based on their fitness value and find their position in the colony. This is taken as the initial positions of WDO, and with the help of velocity and position equation of WDO, we will update the positions or temporary positions of the seeds. These temporary positions will be utilized by IWO algorithm. In step 5, based on the fitness value, flowering plant produce new seeds based on these equations, and after productions, the seeds are uniformly dispersed over the search domain similar to conventional IWO method, and the standard deviations can be expressed as this expression. Now, if we determine the standard deviations, then we can calculate the position of new seeds with the help of this equation, where x new is equal to temporary positions, which we determine with the help of bin-driven optimization technique, and rand is a random number, and mu is equal to standard deviations. Then according to fitness value, the newly produced seeds rank with their parents. The seeds with lower ranking are removed to reach the maximum number of plants in the colony. In the next step, existing seeds can generate new seed based on their ranking in the colony. This process will continue until global optimum is reached in terms of maximum number of iterations for fitness criteria. Otherwise, step 4 and 8 is repeated. This is the flow chart of the investigative hybrid algorithm, and the result and discussion part. I implemented a hybrid algorithm for 10 element linear array antenna, 28 element linear array antenna, and 32 element linear array antenna. The simulation results obtained by WDO, IWO, and hybrid algorithms are compared and verified with those obtained by PSO, CLPSO, differential evaluations, and DDO algorithm. These are the constants or initial value which we consider in the initial, or you can say that initial parameters. These are the initial parameters. Synthesis of linear array antenna by optimizing the positions of the array elements. In this case, we have to optimize the positions, and the amplitude and phase of linear array antenna are constants or fixed. So we have considered uniform linear array antenna. In this case, the excitation amplitude of 10 element linear array antenna all are having uniform amplitudes, and phase of each element is 0. Only we have to optimize the positions where we can place the antenna so that we get the desired results. This is the radiation pattern obtained in case of 10 element linear array antenna by different technique, IWO in conventional method, and by hybrid IWO, WO method, IWO, WDO methods, and WDO methods. And the outcome of this research is published in the Antenna and Wireless Propagation Letter in 2016. And the optimized positions we obtain by using hybrid techniques is given in table 2, and the optimum value is mentioned in table 3. In first case, in 10 element linear array antenna, I consider only minimum side lobe level suppressions, means we are trying to suppress the maximum side lobe levels, and it is represented in minus dB. That means minus 12.96 minus 17.44. In this case, the proposed WDO, IWO, WDO algorithm achieve maximum side lobe suppression of 23.5 dB, which is better in case of other optimization techniques. In second case, I consider 28 element linear array antenna, and we have placed null at different locations. Means at the same time we are trying to minimize the interference. This is the optimized positions. Table 4 represent the optimized positions of 28 element linear array antenna, and the optimum results which which is obtained by using hybrid technique. And if we go through the table, the maximum side lobe levels obtained by a hybrid algorithm is less than this technique CLPSO and differential evaluations, but we have obtained a better null depth levels in this case as compared to comprehensive learning, particle sum optimizations and differential evaluations. We have obtained a better null depth level at the cost of maximum side lobe level separations. And in the next case, I considered n is equal to 32 element linear array antenna and null are placed at 99 degree. And nulls are placed at 99 degree. The optimized positions of linear array antenna is given in table 6. Since we have considered symmetrical linear array antenna, so position is plus minus, and the optimum results is given in table 7. From table 7, again we can say that the hybrid technique achieved a maximum side lobe levels of 19.7 dB, which is less than 22.73 and 22.81 obtained by CLPSO and DE respectively. But in case of hybrid technique, the null depth levels are much better as compared to other reported in the table. Now the convergence curve. Convergence curve of n is equal to 10, 28 and 32 element linear array antenna. And one axis we have considered the pressure value or fitness value and how much iterations it will take to find the optimum solution. Optimum solutions. The solid line represents the number of elements, 10 elements linear array antenna, and this one is 28 element linear array antenna, and the last one 32 element linear array antenna. From this graph, the smaller one, we can see that it takes less than 50 iterations, less than 50, we can say that less than 50 iterations to find the optimum solutions. And from this table, we can summarize the results. In case of 10 element linear array antenna, the hybrid technique takes only 25 iterations to get the optimum solution, or in case of 28 element linear array antenna, it takes 42 iterations, and in case of 32 element linear array antenna, it takes around 110 iterations to get the optimum solution. In the next case, I am trying to optimize the excitation amplitude of linear array antenna. Here I consider a uniformly spaced 30 degree initial Chebyshev pattern with isotropic element having inter-element spacing lambda by 2. That means spacing is fixed and we have to optimize the excitation amplitude only. This is the excitation amplitude of 30 dB Chebyshev array antenna for 20 element. In this case, we are trying to place the nulls. We are trying to place the nulls at 30 degree with deviations of plus minus 5 degree. That means from minus 25 degree to minus 35 degree. We are trying to place the nulls in this directions and this directions. This is the, if you remember, this is the case where the direction of interfering user is not known to us, or direction of interfering user is moving slowly with respect to time. For that case, we have utilized a broad null, and null is placed at 30° with plus minus 5° deviations. And the result is compared with the bacteria causing optimization technique. This is the optimized value. In case of BFO, the maximum side load separation is 28.5 dB. However, in our case, we achieve a minimum value of side lobe separations, but the null depth level we obtain is 74, which is better in all cases. And the dynamic range ratio, it is defined as the ratio of maximum amplitude to the minimum amplitude, and we obtain the dynamic range ratio 7.53 in this case, and the beam width is 18.02. In the next case, we are trying to optimize the excitation amplitude and phase of the linear array antennas. This is the initial Chebyshev position of initial Chebyshev patterns, and this is the optimized position for different cases. If we placed a null at minus 40°, minus 14°, or 25°, sorry, minus 40°, minus 14°, and 25°, and the spatial region of side lobe separations are this and this. We are trying to suppress the side lobe levels in these regions. The results we obtain are, in case of hybrid techniques, we minimize the side lobe levels as 29.3 dB, and null depth level, which is greater than 102 dB, and beam width is 17.7, and dynamic range ratio is 6.21. In this case, we have considered broad nulls. Which is located at minus 30° with the deviations of plus minus 5°. And the optimized results obtained in case of hybrid techniques is maximum side lobe separation is 31 dB, null depth level is greater than 74 dB, and the beam width and dynamic range ratio is 17.7 and 6.73. Now, I developed a novel binary wind-driven optimization technique. Since binary wind-driven optimization technique is utilized to solve continuous problem, I developed binary versions of wind-driven optimization technique and utilized this optimization technique in array thinning problem and designing frequency selective surface. In recent studies show that uniformly excited periodic linear array antennas have high directivity. However, it suffers from poor side lobe level characteristics. To minimize the side lobe levels, array is made aperiodic by altering the position and excitation amplitude, which requires complex feeding network. In array thinning structure, a fraction of element in a periodic array is turned off to reduce the grating load. Suppose if we have 100 element linear array antenna, then simultaneously we can switch off the 20 or 30 element linear array antenna and trying to get the same radiation pattern with 70 elements in on conditions. On conditions and 30 element in the off conditions. Means same radiation pattern as we obtained in case of 100 element.
Audio is breaking. Bas, Dr. Santosh.
Efficient and global binary version of proposed algorithm has been applied to achieve maximum site of level separations in an aperiodic align problem. The result obtained by binary W2O is compared with the other evolutionary optimization algorithm reported in literature, and the simulation results demonstrate the improved performance of the proposed algorithm compared to ESO and GA. This one. In this velocity equations, we consider the four forces. First one is force due to frictional force, and second one represent the gravitational force, and this represent the force due to the pressure gradients, and the last one is the force due to the rotation of Earth, that is Coriolis force.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Atul. In the previous case, we have a continuous value of velocity, but we are trying to design a binary version of that. Binary position is considered, and if x is equal
Sir, the voice breaking.
to both equal to 0. If both are equal, then this value is equal to 0. In this post of wait for a moment. Now, are you getting my voice? Hello.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes, sir.
no
Now
problem.
it's clear.
Okay. So we have initialized the binary value to positions of air particles, but the velocity is still a real number in between Vmax, minus of Vmax, and maximum value in between we find the real number of VNT. To convert in the binary form, I have considered a monotonically increasing sigmoidal limiting transformations as VNT and is given as S is equal to 1 by e to the power 1 by 1 plus e to the power minus b mn comma t, and S of v mnt is equal to 0 and 1 if v mnt approaches minus v max. If v mnt approaches v max, then its value is 1. With the help of this sigmoidal function, we convert the real value v mnt from discrete value in 0, distal value 0 and 1. Now the positions of air particles is optimized, or in the next iterations we have to calculate the positions of air particles, the current positions. If the random number, we have generated a random number, if this random number is greater than SV MNT, then the value is 0. If the random number value is less than SV MNT, then its value is 1. In this way, I formulated a binary versions of wind ribbon optimization technique and utilized this optimization technique to solve array thinning problem and pixelated meta surface synthesis. And the outcomes of this research is published in IIT Microwave Antenna Propagations in 2019. The array thinning problem, I consider 100 element linear array antenna, symmetrical linear array antenna, and in this case I am trying to optimize the positions xi. Sorry, I am trying to optimize the excitation amplitude. Means if we have 100 antenna, if we suppose switch on 50% of the element, then we have 50 elements. We are trying to get the same radiation pattern with the 50 elements in present case with the 100 element linear array antennas. Then which antenna we have to give excitations? This is the design problem. This is the design problem, and I consider the first fitness function. In first fitness function, we are trying to minimize the side lobe levels, and the initial value we have considered the positions of the 100 element antenna. Means excitation amplitude of antenna is this one, and after 90th iterations, we get the optimum excitation amplitudes, where 1 represents the antenna in on conditions and 0 represent antenna in off conditions. In single objective thinning problems, in this case I am trying to minimize the number of the off antenna in off conditions. I am trying to maximize the number of antenna in off conditions and trying to get the same radiation pattern, or you can say that better radiation pattern. Single objective thinning problems. The radiation pattern of optimal array design obtained by PWDO 74% field apertures, means 74% antenna is in on conditions, and in case of BPSO, the 77% antenna are in on conditions. Means 77 antenna are in on condition and 23 antenna are in off conditions. I consider this result, I get this result. And in multi-objective theory problem, in first I am trying to minimize the number of antennas and the number of, I am trying to minimize the side lobe levels, and in second case I am also trying to minimize the side load number of antennas which is in components. And after 105th iterations, in this case, these 67%, 63% antenna field aperture will be obtained as compared to, if you consider uniformly spaced appearing array, 100% field apertures, and in case of VPSO, 66% field apertures. And the side load levels obtained is minus 20.28 dB as compared to 13.2 dB by periodic array. These are the radiation patterns obtained in different cases. And optimization of previous. Now, the very interesting topic, the meta-surface synthesis. Nowadays, we are trying to design a antenna frequency selective surface using 0 and 1. Means here 1 will represent the presence of copper. Copper is printed there, and 0 represent absence of copper. Means copper is not there. In this way, we can design a frequency selective surface. But I have utilized soft computing optimization technique to find where we can place the copper, or where we have to remove the copper, or copper is absence. We have written a MATLAB code and interface the MATLAB code with HFSS, and whole the process will take care of the MATLAB. Or in this case, we have utilized soft computing optimization technique, or you can say that we have removed the heat and trial process, which we are utilizing to synthesize a frequency selective surface. This is the flow chart. This is a flow chart of the MATLAB and HFSS interfacing. This is the MATLAB window, and this is the HFSS window. We have to start and create the initial parameters. We have to generate the HFSS script. HFSS script will be generated with the help of HFSS, or basic visual script. Then activate HFSS. Now whole process, means analysis part, will be done with HFSS. Draw the structure, analyze the structure, and export the result. And the result will be analyzed by Brin-Raven optimization technique. Hello, Atul. Dr. Atul, are you getting my voice? Okay. Now, are you getting my voice?
Yes, sir. We are able to listen you.
With the help of this MATLAB and HFSS interfacing, we can design a frequency selective surface, which and we have control in our hand. With the help of optimization technique, or with the help of MATLAB window, we are taking control in our hand. But previously, when you are trying to design antenna, then antenna designers will feel the pain when they are trying to design an antenna. How we have cut several slots in various positions. With the help of this centrifuging, we can overcome that problem. Metasurface synthesis. We have considered 16 cross 16 small grid, that is 256 square pixels. Dimension of each pixel is taken 1 mm into 1 mm. Each pixel can be either unoccupied or occupied by metal, depending upon the binary values 0 and 1. 8-fold symmetry makes them polarization insensitive and reduce the number of binary value 256 to just 36. We have to find the just optimum value of 36 elements, then all the value are repeated, since we have obtained the 8-fold symmetry. Eaching of every small portions of a copper at any diagonal connected pixels. In the figure, we can see that these figures are etched, means copper in these portions are etched. And this is the meta surface synthesis 5-band meta absorber. We can design absorber. We have designed absorber binary WDO and outcomes of this published in IIT 2019. And after design, this is the simulated results of absorption peak. We obtained the absorption peak at 92.85 gigahertz. Sorry, 8.7 gigahertz. Gigahertz, 14.61, 97.12%. We have designed using MATLAB and HFS interfacing. After that, after simulations, we have fabricated the structure and compared the measured results with simulated one, and they are in good agreement. The last conclusion part, we have discussed invasive rate optimization technique. Then we have discussed the problem associated with the problem associated with the IWO, and with the help of wind-driven hybrid technique, we are trying to overcome the problem associated with IWO. After developing hybrid technique, we have optimized the excitation amplitude, positions, complex weight of linear array antenna. Then we have developed a binary version of wind-driven optimization technique and successfully implemented to solve complex array theory problem, single and multi-objective functions, and most of the reported beta surface are obtained by human intuitions, experience, or large number of simulations, which are time-consuming, ineffective, or expensive. To overcome this problem, a pixelated design approach is used. A novel method, MATLAB, soft computing, HFS interfacing is proposed successfully and implemented to various designs. These are the references. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Santosh sir.
Thank you, Dr. Atul.
Yeah. Thank you,
Very
Santosh sir. Dr. Atul, thank you, Santosh sir. Thank you, Dr. Atul. Thank you all. My battery is getting down, so it may get disconnected at any time. So
Okay,
thank you, Santosh sir, for elaborative delivery. So Dr. Atul, you can conclude, please. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Santosh sir, for very nice presentation and
Dr.
elaborative talk
Atul,
on.
Dr. Atul, just one announcement before my mobile gets down. Afternoon, we will be using same link.
Yes.
Afternoon, 3 p.m. we'll be using same link. Yeah. Okay.
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 Okay, so participant, please note that we will be using same link in the afternoon also. So please join using the same link. Attendance link and feedback link is shared in the chat. So you can scroll and search for that. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. On behalf of BIT Jhansi, SPI Uttar Pradesh, and from my behalf, I thank Dr. Santosh for giving a very elaborative talk. And participants, you can unmute and ask questions. And also you can write if one question I can see in the chat. If bandwidth has to be maximized for single antenna, how fitness function to be framed to optimize dimensions of antenna?
Dimension of antenna. Actually, if you are trying to design, means with the help of soft computing technique, you are trying to optimize the maximize the bandwidth.
Yes, sir.
For that case, we have to in the expressions beam width, we have considered fixed beam widths. In one case, when we are trying to suppress the side lobe levels, at the same time, the beam width is getting wider. We have to fix the beam width. To fix the beam width, we have implemented a constant so that beam width is fixed. If you remove that constant, then if you minimize the side lobe levels, then automatically beam width will increase.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, actually, very informative session, sir. Thank you for this. Sir, my question is like, if I want to maximize the bandwidth for a single antenna, I'm not considering array antenna.
Okay.
So what bandwidth related expression I have to use so that bandwidth has to be maximized?
Actually, in designing, if I can go, wait for a moment.
Okay, sir. Hello.
Yeah. Wait for a moment. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
My screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir. It is last slide. Thank you.
Yeah. No. From this window, I will share something. Okay. Since you are trying to design a single element antenna.
Yes, sir. So I use CST Studio to interface.
Or the VBA script when we not work with CST, but the CST in CST there is a provisions for VBA script. You can record the VBA script.
Yes, sir.
You can record the VBA script, and if you run the VBA script,
yes, sir.
Close the HFSS directly, run the VBA script. You will get your design in the HFSS window.
Okay.
So you have to optimize the VBA script, and you know the parameters which will affect your design or your results, and try to get the optimized value of that result with the help of soft computing technique.
Yes,
you will find a very limited number of papers in this area. Very limited number of papers.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I have framed a MATLAB program to interface CST and MATLAB, and I have applied PSO successfully. For minimizing the S11 return loss, I to know that if in fitness function means I have to maximize the bandwidth also. So
Then you have to minimize the S11. Na? You have to
yes, sir,
minimize
I
the
have.
S11.
Okay.
If your S11 is very
Yes, sir.
below the 10 dB
Yes, sir.
lines, then automatically your bandwidth will increase.
Okay.
If your S11 is below the 10 dB lines,
Yes, sir. It is below. Yes, sir.
yeah, no, but you are saying that you are getting you are not getting wide band, you are getting
Yes,
a
sir.
narrow
I
band
was.
or something.
My query was like I can parallelly use two expressions, like one for minimizing the return loss and another for maximizing the bandwidth. So can I use
Yeah,
two?
yeah, you can
Yeah.
do.
So for
For,
bandwidth,
for,
what main parameter I have to use for bandwidth maximization?
but since
And
bandwidth is directly related to S11,
okay, sir.
bandwidth is directly related to S11, then
Okay.
there is no direct expressions
Okay.
given in the HFSS simulators or CST simulators. With
Yes.
the help of minimizing S11, you can minimize the
Okay.
bandwidth.
Max. Okay. Both will be related to S11 only.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. And so second thing I want to ask, have you used some specific configuration of computer, because it takes lot of time?
Yeah, actually, during my PhD, I purchased a computer of 64 GB RAM
Okay.
and hard disk 2 TB for this purpose only.
Okay, sir. Sir,
Since
is there any specific processor you are using, or
i7, actually I
i7?
was
Okay.
using i7, but if you have workstation,
Okay,
but
sir.
if you have workstations, then in very less number of time, with minimum time, you will get the results.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
In my
Yes, sir.
laptop or in my desktop, if I am
Yes.
trying to run this code, then
Yes, sir.
it will take 1 day, 2 days, or 5 days minimum to solve this
Okay,
code.
okay, fine, sir. For i7, 5 days,
Yeah,
1 to 5 days. Okay,
minimum,
sir.
yeah, 5 days.
Yes, sir. That
Or
was the main concern, because I was continuous.
but
Okay.
fiber continuous. If
Okay.
the power is cut off, then there
Then
is
it
loss.
has. Okay, okay.
Then again you have to start
Yes,
from the
sir.
beginning.
In that case, you have to start from beginning. Yes, sir. Thank
I
you.
have
It's really very
I was
informative. Yes, sir.
okay. Thank you. I feel the similar kind of problem.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Aarti ma'am. Your question have also solved the questions of other participants. It
Thank
was
you,
a
sir.
very nice question also. Okay. So with this, I think we can end the meeting. Thank you so much, Santosh sir, and all the participants.
Dr. Atul.
We'll meet in the afternoon. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so
Dr.
much.
Atul.
Yes.
And thank you, Dr. Atul, and thank you all for carefully listening the lecture. Once again, thank you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Santosh sir, and all the participants and all the dignitaries who were present here. Most of them are faculties, so and they are
Can we leave the meeting?
sparing your important time. They have classes and other important work also. So I thank for your time. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm ending the meeting.
Thank you, Dr. Atul. Can I leave?
Yes, yes.